technical pause, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw right when we got into the game, pause got called. So hopefully that issue is going to be rectified soon. But we didn't really talk about who's starting where. As you mentioned, no doubt, Made in Brazil starting the CT side of their opponent's map pick of Nuke. It's going to be the same for Fluxo as well, going into Vertigo. They will be starting on the CT side there. And of course, we are going to see a knife round for the decider. No one gets the luxury of choice there. We are back into the game. It was a brief technical pause. No kit. One flash for safe to back up those dualies for Insani and drop. Fluxo, they're going to go with 2 sets of utilities spread out across 3 players. And is there a P250 in play? No, it just looks like utility on the cards for Fluxo.
Glocks and an A push for Fluxo, potentially event drop with that smoke. But they're going to pump the brakes here. And it's going to allow for a push for MIBR, but Fluxo look ready for this. A flash in, drop's gone through, but BRN has the first, rings the bell of VSM. And that kicks off this upper bracket final. Down the vents they go, and in towards B that will be heard. Insani drops in the meantime. Drop himself dangerously low, but he still wins the fight against PKL. Zevi gets the bomb down in the 4v3, favoring his opposition. And no kits, as you highlighted in that brief little technical pause, meaning that time is of the essence for MIBR as they train 3 through ramp, make it all 4 coming the same direction. Dual Berettas leading the charge, trying to clear up some space. Zevi up on the stairs, sees the double doors close, and goes back to control the hold. Che and Lukowski over towards decontamination. Che with a pair, going for 3, but it's Lukowski to get the next one in line. Upgrades to the dual Berettas, and Che will chime in for the hat trick. Round 1 by Fluxo. And the bomb plant 2. Nice and easy for the T's, despite losing that first contact.
Very solid start. Down the vents they go. A little bit of a fancy strat for the piss around, but it definitely pays dividends. They were very well poised, very well set up in that post plant to rebuke that retake from Made in Brazil. Made in Brazil, though, not so easily dissuaded. Still going to go for an investment in round number 2. 5.7s, MP9s, a little bit of utility dashed in, and 1 kit as the backup policy for Insani. Fluxo, though, wanting to take the duels and take them early with confidence. PKL crossing towards Secret, not even throwing smokes to guise it. More than happy to welcome in a fight at that kind of extended range. Although no fight will be presented. Exit. Holding down below, drop. This is a nice little angle towards ramp. Not playing in the corner on either side, instead just holding the middle in hopes of catching someone out. Molotov forces safe away. PKL showing presence towards Secret. Play appears to be a split towards B. Broadsides exchanged, but Insani's the one to come out on top to start things off. He beheads 1 on the 5.7. That makes Fluxo second guess their overall standing. PKL drops exit. That was down towards B, but the bomb, it has coalesced with its teammates towards lobby, still questioning which direction to go.
In towards drop, that's a good dink, but a better kill by VSM, opening things up to run down to B. PKL makes his way through Secret in the meantime. Safe has gone down. The last 2 players stuck in decontamination. That's the weirdest smoke bug combination I've ever seen. And that's fortuitous for Fluxo as they'll get the bomb down. Insani, nothing but a 5.7. Spots out 1, takes down 1. Now he can upgrade. But I like this play of going back into decon. He'll leave it instead, though, and grab the MP9 that's on the ground. Does have a kit, too, so this is very winnable for him. He's on the bomb. They're going to spray. Are they expecting a 10-second defuse? They are. They don't know he's got a kit. He's got the round. MIBR run away with 1. Robbery from Insani. And we're tied at 1 apiece early into this game. And the Force Buy pays off with a big dividend.
Force Buy pays off in the short term, but will it pay off in the long term is the question. They will get a slightly better buy here and now than they had in the last, but Fluxo will also still have a okay buy, all things considered. Mac 10 still present for Zevi. Che's on a Tech 9, less than ideal, but everybody else has AKs. Made in Brazil still struggling with a trio of SMGs, a majority SMG buy. Overall, I'd say still even footing for both teams. And no kit this time around either for Made in Brazil.
That is what won them the round last one. So, could be something to keep an eye on here. I would give a slight advantage to Fluxo, given the extra rifle. But the utility, the lack of utility, rather, is something to keep an eye on for Fluxo, because they only have one smoke left. 3 flashes, sure, but their stall utility in the post plant is negligible. And Exit's just going for the jiggle. He spots a leg, drops off that smoke. Now contact outside. Lukowski wins that fight against Safe, who tried to reset the spray and could not do so in time. Barely does any damage, too, to Lukowski, considering. And now Che might just get a freebie onto BRN, who's pushing into Hut. Very aggressive. There's backup 2, and he will be traded out instead for the 3 advantage for Fluxo. Zevi 1 for 1 on to insani. And now, as the man advantage continues to stack the trades favoring the T's, PKL makes it a 2-man advantage and Exit in a 1v3 to a 1v2. No kit, but now an AK. Molotov well placed on his position. He will have to retreat, and it might just be Exit frags for him, as Fluxo in the pole position to grab a second round and begin what could lead to the Force Buy Wars.
Scrappy start, but you'd expect nothing less. Again, there's like 2 peers going at it in this one. No team a clear advantage in the series. Zevi and PKL should have no problem exiting if they go towards their own spawn, which it looks like they are. There we go. So both teams will survive. Only Exit for Made in Brazil. Zevi and PKL for Fluxo. And that 1-round advantage for the T side as well. Do Made in Brazil force buy around this? You mentioned that the force buy wars could begin in earnest. Definitely see an argument for it. It looks like they shall. 57CZ. MP9 being dropped over as well for insani, enabling him. That's a smart call early on. Spy is still scary. Still has teeth. Those 5.7s, we saw what they could do. It opened up the round for insani in round number 2. It could do the same now for drop or save.
Yeah, even the CZ could just grab a quick upgrade for BRN, so that's another thing to keep in mind. I like that little credit card boost, too, with the AK. Leverage what strengths you have. It has been spotted outside, and Exit will be dancing with death if he continues to fight there. Lukowski's made noise. Exit certainly heard the cross. Safe, at the very least, keeping an eye on things from Lockers. That's a great headshot from Lukowski. Does he expect Exit? He does! Double up from Lukowski. And a double-man advantage for Fluxo now, who look to put an end to the Force Buy Wars as soon as they begun. insani, though, maybe a chance to turn the tide back to MIBR's favor with that MP9 top Hut. PKL debating on going for the smoke. He'll catch a timing, at least spray down one. insani trades it back and takes half his health as well. Lukowski lurking around in garage, caught from behind, but drop can't land the shots. That is an unlucky occurrence there, and insani so close, yet so far from turning the tide. Fluxo on lock for a third, a drop running down to B. No one will drop down the vents into his hands, and that is the 3-1 secured for the T side. It's just a matter of whether or not Drop wants to go for an exit or not, and if he is successful, which he may just be contacted by VSM. He's looking the wrong way. That's a freebie for VSM. And now we do have 2 rounds in a row for a team, and it's Fluxo who get it first.
Now they can begin to stabilize. They've won the Force Buy Wars. Got 2 in a row. Kept it pretty clean there as well, only losing 1 player. Now they can breathe a sigh of relief. Mac 10 for PKL, perhaps to harvest up a bit of cash. Made in Brazil shouldn't invest more than a pistol or 2. In fact, they'll invest nothing diddly squat. $0 to be precise across all 5. Should be a 4th for Fluxo. It should be a chance for them to build up that T-side economy. That is a very scary prospect going forward for the Made in Brazil defense.
Oh, there's a dink onto Lukowski, who's been lethal on the entries. He'll grab one and try to back away. Will be successful as a little cover fire from PKL up top silo as well. Lukowski's still hunting, hungry for blood. Finally gets dinked down. PKL will add a dome of his own. Zevi creeping all the way out through mini as a site under the control of Fluxo will go for more punishes, but 2 kills for MIBR, considering their lack of investment on just the USPs, is not bad at all. But for Fluxo, they'll take their 4th round. They'll take their T-set economy. And this will be the first gun round for MIBR, the halfway point of the half, the quarter mark of the map. And it really has looked a domineering T side from Fluxo so far. A concerning start for Made in Brazil. If they can't get this one on the board, I would not be surprised if we're heading to Vertigo sooner rather than later.
It's the biggest risk that is associated with going for force buys on the CT side. If you lose the force buy wars, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle. Already down 1-4, as you mentioned. We're at that halfway point or thereabouts of this first half. And Made in Brazil only have one measly round to show for it. And that was a ninja defuse. Don't forget, it was a ninja where everybody died and 2 survived for Fluxo. Utility, for Made in Brazil. Almost all gone at this point. We have 2 smokes left with 1:15 left in the round. No kits again. No helmets, which could be exploited by the Galils. Things seem a little bit dire for this Made in Brazil defense.
Yeah, it's a little early to say they're already towards the end of the rope, but they kind of are. Safe goes 1 for 1, tries to get a little cheeky with the nade peek, and Zevi punishes the MIBR Opper. Exit lucky, grabs a freebie, backs into big garage, will get double pushed by PKL and Zevi. Exit repositioning, wins the second fight, into a third, and he dinks down Zevi. This could be the critical second round that MIBR need. They cannot really afford any more casualties, however. Che walking out, does not check up on the rafters. And so BRN gets himself a freebie, and then the second 3 survive. The op will not be salvaged, unluckily for Safe. But for MIBR, they put something positive on the board with the guns. And they've brought Fluxo down to the bottom of their economy. The key swing round here in round number 7. Fluxo up 2/3 to 1. There still is that CT economy to worry about, Nate. And as you can see, it is pretty rough.
It's rough for both teams right now. It could be a swing round if Made in Brazil can prevent the bomb plant. A lot of implications can be made from this round. If Made in Brazil win it, keep it relatively clean as well. It could be a 3rd and a 4th by extension. If Fluxo win it, well, they send Made in Brazil's economy tumbling. And very well established their T-side advantage. Trades early on, burns in for Che. Even 4 versus 4, but Zevi all the way out B is the critical factor. So much map control, so much presence being shown by this one lone lurk down the vents. And now Made in Brazil are very paranoid about this trophy room crunch. They'll send 2 in that direction to clear out lobby. Zevi clears out the man in the back lines. That's Insani, the heavy hitter we highlighted, taken out of the round while only doing damage. No outright kills. Made in Brazil. Flank will work, at least in the short term, but can they actually retake the site quickly? That's the question. PKL, good trade from Drop, brings it back to even footing. Zevi has rotated up around towards Mini, but both players are here, and both are to be expected by MIBR. Exit looking the wrong way, spotted by Zevi. No defuse attempted as of yet. Flash thrown in, here it comes. It's going to be a stick. Exit from above has to cover. Exit burns away 1, kills the second at range, and Made in Brazil stick the defuse, completely confident on the overwatch. Very well done from the CT side to come back from what was a very difficult position.
Yeah, that's a miracle round for MIBR. They come back from essentially being locked out, and some good critical kills. I think getting the bomb planter right after that goes down is huge. And then you have the follow-up on the trade, too. Plus the Molotov into Mini, that really makes things easier and allows that defuse to come through uncontested. MIBR is starting to stack up some rounds at the CT side, now looking more and more confident. And again, Fluxo are starting to bleed here, Nate. There's been a cut or 2. And MIBR can smell it. They might not be the Sharks. They're smelling the blood in the water. Rock just gets overwhelmed entirely. Out ramp, however, and Safe follows suit. Fluxo do not want to let their map go. Zevi, that's a nice duel against Insani. Over towards decontamination, leaving just BRN and Exit. And a 2v4, they might be calling it quits already? They're calling it. They're conceding the round.
2 versus 4. Rifles have been recovered. Zevi's feeling it. Che is as well. Might have had a drop from the server as well, if I'm not mistaken. It's an exit. Both should be allowed to save them. I actually get some exits as well if they choose to go in that direction. Doesn't look like they will. Everybody's going to survive in the server as of now. Actually, VSM might find a kill on this hunt. VSM just the MAC 10 after all.
Terrorists win.
But a confident play, a change of pace for Fluxo. Pays off in a big way as they're half by. Gives them a 5th. We did have a disconnect. I knew I saw something happen. It looks like Safe has departed the server.
Not a good sign for MIBR to have their Opper disconnecting at this stage. Although it's probably better now than on Ancient, but for Fluxo, that's a huge one to stab back with. That reestablishes their dominance. MIBR getting confident, finding rounds, finding victories, and then just get slapped right down by Fluxo. That's a good response from the T's. And I do like that call, too. That little change-up to run on in.
Control the pace, change it up. Know what you've got. It's very well done there. Looks like the pause has concluded, which means the players should have reconnected. But the HUD does appear to have a bit of a glitch.
Yeah, you know how that is.
The HUD is very fickle. We all know that. So, you know, we'll just roll with it. Should be confident in knowing that there is a 5th player in the server. Otherwise, why would they have unpaused so quickly? Molotov early on. And aggression from Burns, and he wants to find an opener for the team. He is one of those players with a saved rifle, with a salvaged rifle, I should say. But no easy options are presenting themselves. Instead, Che going out A. Meant to go in the vents, that appears is caught. Everybody's bumping into one another, and this is giving Made in Brazil a real opportunity to do damage. Insani is second on the P2K. The spam from Burns does quite a bit. He finds one, tags a second, and the dualies of drop doing Zevi. That leaves just Lukauzi lurking outside, now towards Africa. A 1 versus X situation. Bomb not in his control either, and now his position known. Exit a nice little off angle. That's enough. It gets the job done, and Made in Brazil steal the round back immediately in response. The cams are coming back to us. We're going to get that HUD issue rectified, but what a response from Made in Brazil in rebuttal to what Fluxo did in the round prior.
That was a little bit of a gift to the bumper car scenario, trying to go down the fence, and that really did hurt Fluxo significantly. A couple big kills coming through. MIBR do not miss those individual chances up close and personal. And now it's Fluxo back to the rough buy. Zevi has the op. Galil on VSM. A Tech 9 for PKL. Zevi boosted up outside, looking for something. Anyone peeking out? But it looks like MIBR are wise to not aggress outer yard and take fights they don't need to. They have rifles, but no scoped. And so, Exit dances with his idea, debates the peak, the wide swing. It all comes down to timing for him. So close to peaking that angle. And Zevi's going back and forth between garage and credit cards, maybe a mini peek. The deep smokes go through, Exit spotted. Zevi misses the shot in transition. Molotov towards top secret prepped and goes down. Drop making his way up the stairs as well, safe around the smoke, just outside of Trophy. This nade could do some damage, but it goes too short. Out comes Drop, but down he falls. PKL's got an upgrade and an AK at that. Lukauzi outside. Taken down relatively clean by Exit. Insani, a lot of work to do down towards Decon, though, on the stairs. Playing the headshot angle. Safe is not quite there with him yet, but making his way slowly but surely. Insani makes contact. Safe swings up. One combines. Insani the next. Zevi has it off. Very awkward spot, and that's why you miss one, and you're done. Just Che in a 1v4 with only 18 seconds to go. Surely a tie ball game into the penultimate of the half.
Surely a tied ball game. And sorry, the next at bat. Too many angles to worry about. Che will get away with the bomb in hand. Gonna try to plant. No, he fakes it. Here's Insani's steps. Insani knows the steps are enough. Che's heading for the hills, desperately trying to keep something in his hands as the round expires. He will, at the very least, be successful in that endeavor. 5-5, tied right back up, made in Brazil. Staving off Fluxo, going toe for toe, going bat for bat. It is 5 apiece now, but while this was kind of what we saw in map number 1, or in series number 1 between Fluxo and Bestia, we had one fear lurking back behind our thoughts, and that's the fact that Fluxo have a dominant CT side second half coming up after this one. I don't think a 6-6 for Made in Brazil is going to be enough. In fact, I dare say a 7-5 for them might not be enough going into that second half.
Yeah, that CT side from Fluxo is going to be lethal. Drop. Around the corner. And the kill. Takes a good amount of damage if there was safe there for a trade, although the CTs can't really afford trades right now. Quite literally, cannot afford trades. And they almost just gave one up. The AK of Che. Moving in. And for the A crunch, perhaps now a rotation to ramp? Yeah, they decide to fall off the A play and go towards ramp, where Safe is having to play aggressive. One on the M4 pops up, knocked down. Drop does come through from J Hall to take down Zevi. The bomb has a very good opportunity of going down. It wasn't in such an awkward spot. That's a nice little nade. Now Lukauzi elects to not drop down. He'll toss it over to Che. And BRN might beat them down. Drops made his way through. There's a chance to stonewall this plant and get a lead into the final round of the half. Lukauzi does not cross in front of the glass in vision of BRN. Time is running out, and Fluxo are using every last spare second. As soon as this bomb gets attempted to be planted, doors are going to open. They're going to fight with under 10. They're fighting here, and they lose both clean. MIBR lead late. And Fluxo, without the bomb plant, are going to be lacking utility moving into this final round.
So they are. It's been a very scrappy first half is the best way to put it. I don't think I've seen a single full, solid, across-the-board buy. Every round has had maybe, every round has had an MP9 for Made in Brazil, or a Galil for Fluxo, or it doesn't matter how many rounds in a row they've won, which is only 2 or 3 at the most. They always have some sort of compromise, whether it be an artifact from the round prior, or something that's just necessitated by the economic reality of the round they face. So this one's been scrappy, been makeshift. Might be an understatement. VSM taking an awkward duel with Safe to start things off towards Trophy. The Shadows betraying each other's moves. It is won by VSM, who combines fire for a second. No response as of yet from Made in Brazil, adds insult to injury as they're now down by 2 with 1:20 left in the round.
No chance for a refrag either. Not a sniff of the opposition for MIBR. VSM caught, looking the wrong way. Exit has a chance for more, but he gets spammed back. Drop is there, but they spot him. He's not able to do anything significant. Pushes through the fire. But Lukauzi deals with Insani. This is going to be a 6-6 scoreline, barring any insanity from Drop. Got a long rotation through Trophy. Does have a kit and a flash, but no smoke, no molly. It's mostly going to be fights all the way through. And Zevi's already thinking about that first contact towards lobby, peeking around Hut. He's out, spots him out. That just about puts the kibosh on the round. Smoke goes through, but Drop's almost out of health and ammo. Swaps over to the dualies. Time is burning away. 21 rounds of the dualies. Oh, he just faces and gets headshot. 6-6 at the half. We'll see you after the break.
more competing. Bound to your inner voice, yeah. Things seem misleading. Just until you stop and make your choice. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. Let it 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 go. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life, don't you think? It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life, don't you think? If we go down in history. If we go down in history. If we go down, if we go down, if we go down in history. If we go down, we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are continuing our coverage of the upper bracket final for the ESL Challenger Jönköping 2024 South American Close Qualifier. Again, this is the upper bracket final. There's an elimination match going on simultaneously over on ESL CSF, for those of you wondering. Spineapple Phillips and Boggs bring you the action, and Made in Brazil with a no-nonsense play towards A. Out the door they come. Spam from PKL does a boatload of damage, but no kills as of yet. They line up for Lukowski. He finally gets the offense with a 1 kill, but that's answered tit for tat. Back and forth it goes. PKL back offense covered by VSM from above, who finds one before falling. It is trades to the true and bitter end. That leaves Insani in a 1v2. Found the first, not the second. Zevi swings off contact. It is a chaotic end to a scrappy round. Fluxo taking the pistol and taking the lead.
That, again, continuing the trend of nothing but scrappy back and forth rounds as Fluxo edge out a lead here into the early parts of the second half. MIBR will not force into this one. They'll have one deagle, and that is it for the investments. So it should be a 2-round lead here for Fluxo moving forward. But that last round, one headshot away from being an MIBR victory instead of a Fluxo one. Insani just couldn't pull it back enough. It really has been an incredibly even game from both sides, from kill counts to just rounds of literally a half and half score. And that's a nice deagle shot from Insani. Gets dropped by PKL. Insani, another one. That's why you cannot face this guy so confidently. He's deadly, and he's doing it with the dig.
Same play. Another boost is continuing. And he has yet to be punished. He's done so much damage now to PKL. Che will finally unseat him. Catches him crossing towards Seagate with the MP9. Death by 1,000 cuts. But still a lot to do for this MP9. A second secured, albeit with a dink in return. Che, hearing those steps right outside, does fall away. crossing given to Made in Brazil, but they'll face many trials before getting to either site. Nonetheless, they have done well to make a round out of this half-buy.
They've got some damage, and that's a good thing. You can always deal damage to the CT economy. It's always squishy. It's always weak. ESM from top of Silo just knocks down the 2. Still 2 casualties, though. 2 more than Fluxo would have liked. And now out come the AKs for MIBR. They won't have an op for save. Neither will Fluxo have one for Zevi. And Fluxo will have to decide how much they want to invest into this round. And it's MIBR who call the tack. This is an interesting call. I'm a little interested as to why MIBR are calling the tack on their first gun round. Because they had a little bit of success in that last one. I would say just kind of try the same thing again. Play for picks and work off of that, because Fluxo seem happy to give you the fights.
That's what I'll say. Maybe they were playing for picks in the last couple rounds and found some critical weakness to exploit. That's the only justification I can see. The coach having some sort of major insight to reveal to the team. But even then, I agree. It's a little bit early. Get the same vein. They get 4. I think that's their first. We're over halfway through this first map, so not too much harm done, all things considered. However, if they lose this round, it's 6-9, potentially 6-10 if they don't get the bomb plant. So a lot riding on them to get the ball rolling.
Molotov for second Venton's prepped and ready by drop. He'll send that through. Flashes in on the A pop. Exit Insani taking damage. The first kill goes the way of MIBR. Che drops down for 2. Upgrades to the AK, but he is traded. VSM only good for 1. As drops Galil knocks down his second of the round. Just Lukowski creeping through the smoke. Spotted and removed by drop. Great crosshair placement and great awareness there from him. And the former Furia man gets MIBR back within 1, and the economy of Fluxo is in the gutter. They're forcing up here with an op for Zevi, a FAMAS for Lukowski, Deagles on 2, and a 5-7 on Che. And you said, Nate, that you hadn't really seen a single round so far, holy run boost, where the teams had had a full buy on both sides. That trend continues into the 16th of this map. The pick of Fluxo and MIBR hanging on for dear life.
Yes, they are. Zevi, we've seen this kind of play before. He pushed in towards door, totally sidestepped the flank heaven in the last series we watched against Bestia. Fluxo, though, to be careful. Across all the way down towards Secret with no contact being taken. That's an interesting peek. How did Che get up there while Drop was still lurking? Drop nearly passes that test. VSM, will he stick around to fight? Yes, he will. Lukowski drops drop. VSM good for 1 in a tag, not quite the second. Burns and Safe are the ones to respond instead to maintain a tenuous advantage. The op of Zevi can't flick far enough. Dropped by his counterpart in Safe on the SMG. He's just Lukowski. He has an AK, he has a kill to his name. He'd need 3 more, and he knows that's clearly too much to ask. Made in Brazil. Negotiate what was a potentially scary situation well, keeping 3 up, getting a bomb plant, and tying up the ball game at 8 a pop.
Lukowski should be able to save. Nobody's going to pressure him from MIBR. They still don't have a strong economy yet. That AK for Lukowski is such an important piece to hold on to. MIBR heading to ramp to try and survive the all-encompassing cylinder of death on Nuke. They will achieve that. Just in general, the bomb radiuses on CS2 are kind of insane. But that's a side note. 8 all.
Rambled about that for months.
Yeah, we have been talking about that for months, Nate.
Especially this map. This map's is
This map, Inferno's a joke.
This map's is nuclear.
Ha! That was a great dad joke, Nate. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Ball's going for Lukowski, doing his best Insani impression. Boosted up, this time behind credit card. An interesting little angle. No one will be presented though. Insani's taking a very measured approach to the yard. Drop instead appears to be first contact. It is just pistols around that saved AK on Lukowski, and that nade is oh so punishing. PKL below 20. Lukowski losing 35 HP. Meanwhile, no proper contact being taken for this CT side.
Now there's some contact, some fire going down towards ramp and J Hall. Drop BRN and company clearing out. It's Insani with the first 1 and 2. VSM's got a Zeus though, as he watches his teammates fall about him on the kill feed. VSM, if he gets lucky, can get one nice little cheeky kill, and I'm sure the Zeus will be brought over. They do recharge after all, but I don't think he'll get a second opportunity. Doesn't even get a chance to let it rip for the first. PKL on 19 HP. Nothing he can really hope to do here. Pushing on through squeaky door, and Insani's just hanging around in lobby. That's a fight that PKL will be kicking himself for.
Could have gotten one dink there and potentially the second by extension. Definitely kicking himself for it, but it was an unwinnable round. His best case, absolute best, was getting a rifle and saving, and even then he would have been hard-pressed to do that. I'm sure Made in Brazil would have been voraciously hunting him down. Attack pause called, the first of 3, this time for Fluxo, as they are now feeling the pressure in the kitchen. Need to cook something up special in round number 18, as Made in Brazil have wrested away that advantage. We are at long last seeing a solid full rifle buy for both parties. There's a little bit of utility lacking for Fluxo, but they have A1Ss across the board. Made in Brazil, on the other side of the coin, have full AKs, full utility, and everything they could desire.
Everything indeed. Except for a knock. Could want a knock. Okay, we really have not seen too many A4s as well. Not like each team has had money to buy A4s lately. It's been pretty much A1Ss. And that's about it. And Insani takes a ton of chip damage as PKL spams away through the smoke. Does not fall though. He'll just be the tip of the spear for the MIBR conquest of B. Safe has one. Insani lucky to be alive as that nade tickles him lower to 9 HP. Lukowski retreats up the vents and towards the A site as MIBR are ready to take the B site and try to get double digits first. Drop. Moving around. No further contact. All Fluxo remaining players congregated in the same vicinity up towards A. Leaving nothing to chance as they don't have money to buy next round, and then... Oh. They're gonna save here. They're not gonna go. It's gonna be 10 to MIBR. And Fluxo saving what they have. The M4s, 3 pieces of util, not even a kit. And Drop might just get lucky too. He's been lurking this whole time. And a hunt here from MIBR would be very wise.
Yeah, the late activate in towards the lobby is the call. He waits for rotations going down vent, finds them there, perhaps finds them in towards ramp on a late activation. But in this case, he wasn't even required. It's going to be a save from Fluxo. As you mentioned, a hunt would be wise for Made in Brazil, and they'll choose the wrong direction. They're going to go towards T spawn. No one's there. They're all towards CT instead. So Fluxo will have another chance at bat in round number 19. EKL could get dropped a rifle or even an SMG if required. No, he'll get a full rifle. Everybody gets utility. Everybody gets kits. It's another full round for Fluxo, but the same could be said for Made in Brazil.
Just keeps getting more and more precarious for Fluxo with Vertigo as map tuning. A Vertigo where MIBR just dominated Young Sharks a few hours ago. And it is the pick of Made in Brazil as well. Insani creeps through the smoke. He's got a friend with him. They're going to go down secret. This outer yard has been so exploited by MIBR on this T half. And that's something we brought up in the T show, isn't it, Nate? Outer yard had a lot of gaps in that Bestia Fluxo match that Bestia weren't really able to capitalize on entirely. MIBR making good work of it. And of course, drops Lurks in lobby. Absolutely deadly. He might pick himself up a second kill as well. He'll leave instead, go up the ladder. Just keep an eye on pushes with a lobby crunch to try and regain some space. But overall, MIBR in full control. There's the next one from Drop, and VSM's down on B. There's not much he can really hope to do here. He can get one. If he gets two, it would be impressive. He does have Zevi now, and Zevi gets the first on the open door. Gets two, actually. Will they expect VSM here? Will they just audible this one up to A? They're going to audible an A call. This is a good move. They already have Drop up here trying to secure things. The rotations are going down. They've hit the B side so many times. They're expecting the push down to B. Bomb down, back silos. Lukowski, VSM, nothing to try and retake. 11-8. It's got to be another timeout time for Fluxo because they're up against the wall now.
They're being read and outplayed at every corner. Even with that tag timeout, they've got nothing to show for it. Made in Brazil run away with this one. We said the first half was scrappy, neither team getting a full buy. This time around, it's Made in Brazil, who at this point can have a full buy for the rest of the series. That's how dominant and how full their coffers are as a result. 11-8 secured. VSM being hunted at this stage. There's not many places he can go. If he goes any further down, he will be caught by the explosion radius. Burnson gets the kill. He survives on one between a rock and a hard place, between flames and radiation. He will survive on a sliver of HP. Not that it's too consequential. That kill was instead far more impactful. It'll make Fluxo compromise on an SMG or two. Make them forego potentially even a kit. Yeah, no kit now present for the CT side. That's incredibly big.
That's huge. We've seen the importance of kits, at least in Fluxo's or in MIBR's hands, and for Fluxo, things are just getting worse and worse. PKL looking in, sees nothing as there's a lot of lobby control by MIBR, looking to go towards ramp. VSM boosted up, supported by Zevi from J-Hall, but Zevi's moving his way back towards outside. Smoke's going in, flash is going out, Drop's gonna peek. He does not clear the top boxes, and now Zevi can pop as well. Huge double advantage for Fluxo as the Molotov stymies the further pushing. Nade goes through as well to try and soften up these players. VSM's gonna push in. Oh, that's a smart play to not over-aggress, but he goes back for more. And that's why you don't double dip, kids.
Comes back to bite. Gives Made in Brazil something to work with. Potential path forward. Say look to put that point on the board. Insani. This flank is already expected. Player on A, back a silo watching for it. Zevi as well is rotated in towards J-Hall, looking for it. But Insani passes that first hurdle. Ties us up at 3 apiece. And now they'll decide to go towards ramp. They won't mess around with A, and that's the right call. There were 2 players on the A site proper. They'll go down the vents. Lukowski has this angle pinned from Decon. It's not going to be easy for Made in Brazil, but it's far more feasible now with those 2 picks.
Trades back and forth to a 2v2. Exit trying to get that bomb down, running low on time. Molotov bounces off the fire extinguisher and back to Lukowski. And when Fluxo needs something, they can't catch a break. That just kind of sums up how this has been going for Fluxo right now. No luck, no success. And now, safe up on top, takes down the first. Lukowski can't get in. No kit, no time. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back. Because it's 12-8 to favor Made in Brazil. And again, map 2. MIBR's pick of Vertigo. Fluxo desperately need to take this to overtime. And they're not going to have the money for it. They are going to be dead broke here. An M4A1 on VSM. Lukowski can drop another. But other than that, what will Fluxo have? Their timeout called. Might as well, because they have to win these next 4 to really stand a chance in this series.
You're gonna have to scrape the bottom of the barrel just to get a buy on the board as well. You're not even trying to rival mid in Brazil. At this point, you're trying to get a primary weapon in everybody's hands. Che,
Exactly.
go for an auto shotgun. Yep, there we go. Bring something different out. Play a power position. Play top hut. Play in close ramp. We've seen a couple players do that to no avail. An auto shotgun might give you the edge you need. We do have a kid as well covering all of our bases at the minimum. That's good for Fluxo, but they're going to need more than good. They're going to need great. They're going to need proper execution, more presence in the outside yard, and no over-assertion. It's awesome over-assertion, over-aggression towards ramp. Don't double dip.
That second aggression really just kind of spoiled the whole round. Slow and methodical from MIBR here. They've gone for bulk plays over the last several rounds, and now they're electing to default off of the timeout. I'm liking how MIBR is changing things up. Now they're throwing in the utility late, getting in for the A pop. They've got the first, and they clear out the second. That's the site under their control as Che falls as well. VSM volleyed out of heaven. Lukauzi stuck out. Outer yard. Insani's on the angle. Misses that fight, but he does a good amount of damage. It's still a 2v4. Very low prospects for Fluxo who have to commit to this retake. They're up against map point. It's got to go all in. And so far,
No saving.
they're taking way too long, Nate.
Say no saving, no going.
Yeah.
They're just sitting.
They're fence sitting.
Truly. Now they have to fight for pride. And it should be a kill box at this point. Two players in heaven, one for Lukauzi, but that's all they wrote. 13-8, made in Brazil, changing the pace in response to the timeout, making Fluxo's timeout look like it was all for nothing. Very well done for Made in Brazil. We said this had the makings of a 3-map series, but